So LeBron's first game as a Laker was fun, and I think there were some interesting takeaways, good and bad. And we are going to start with the negative, because usually I start with the good stuff, so I figured I'll be a little meaner to begin the video this time around. This play here, where they had to swarm on Myers Leonard, which led to a open three-point shooter, combined with sometimes offensive rebounds, or there being no rim protector around the rim after the initial guy gets beat. These small lineups that the Lakers are going with, I don't know if they're going to work. I mean, I made a video already talking about this, and a lot of people have talked about this, so I'm not saying anything too new, but I think it's worth mentioning anyway. There were times when the Blazers just bullied them around the rim, and if they don't get another center to help out JaVale, then this could just be a recurring thing. Now, Mo Wagner is injured. I don't know if he's really the answer, given that he's more of like an offensive big. He's also a rookie, but he's a body, but they may have to go out and get someone. And now I want to talk about LeBron. In some of the clips that we're going to see here, you are going to see a couple of them maybe twice, because I want to talk about this for a while. I think what struck me is how willing LeBron was to not dominate the ball. He was willing to have Rondo dribble a decent amount of the time. We saw Brandon Ingram have a few possessions. We saw just random handoff plays. Lance Stevenson had a couple plays. I think this is good. It's definitely different from his days in Cleveland when LeBron would just dribble all day long. And I think this will make the Lakers' offense less predictable. And given that Luke Walton's a pretty good head coach who already cares about movement and all that, then I think that could allow the Lakers to be one of the better offensive teams in the league. I mean, some of these LeBron is still scoring, but it'll be like an offensive rebound or a cut to the basket or whatever. This one here, which I think if they explore this, the LeBron and Rondo two-man game, you could have a lot of good stuff out of that. Yeah, even when LeBron does have the ball, it's like there's a cut to the rim or something. That one for Brandon Ingram. Here, he's willing to set a screen for Lonzo. We are going to talk about him in a few minutes here. So, I can't really find a negative with this. I mean, LeBron James is, what, 6'9", 250? I mean, if you've got that guy playing off the ball, going for offensive rebounds, or just using his passing ability but not taking like 12 seconds to dribble beforehand, then that's all positive. Now, what'll be interesting is as the season goes along, if LeBron is really all in on doing these things. He's a very smart player and he's unselfish, and he's got a talented group around him of guys who can make plays for themselves and others, so I'd like to think that this is going to be like the new thing with him. But even so, I mean, he's still LeBron James, so there's going to be times when he's looking guys off and he's taking it one-on-one or doing his normal thing, but perhaps it'll happen like 4 or 5% less than it used to. Let's talk about Lonzo. His box score numbers are not going to pop out at you. 7 points, 1 assist. I think he probably has the toughest time of everybody when it comes to fitting into this new thing. Number one, he also needs to play more. He only played 19 minutes last night. Rondo was pretty good, so that's another challenge for Luke, is, you know, managing those two's minutes. But if we can get back to Lonzo, the jumper looks okay. I know he adjusted the form a little bit this offseason, and that's cool. I'm not expecting it to be like a massive revelation that makes him a seamless fit with this team. The guy needs the ball. The guy needs to be able to create for others, because he can't create for himself that well. I may love the guy, but I also recognize that it is asking a bit for him to make shots consistently. But still, he's worth giving the ball to, running pick and rolls, giving it to him in transition and all that. Yeah, I mean, the first game for him perhaps did not go that well. I think just simply giving him the ball more often, I know it sounds pretty simple, but I think that could be the move. Also, if LeBron wants to do this off-ball thing, then Lonzo can definitely get him the ball. So that's a work in progress, but I think just simply letting him do more stuff is kind of my take there. For Brandon Ingram, he may be the most interesting guy on this team to me, because he can do whatever you ask him to do. If you want him to cut to the rim, if you want him to play in transition, set screens, just play off the ball in any way, I'm confident that he can do it. However, while this is footage of the preseason, I think it mirrors a lot of his previous year with the Lakers where they gave him the ball a lot. He averaged like 5 pick and rolls a game, 2.5 ISOs a game. That's going to be an adjustment for him because I don't think he's going to get the ball as much with a chance to create for himself. Now that being said, I mean, I'll mention it in a little bit here. He did get a few opportunities last night, which I was a little surprised to see just because there's so many more ball handlers on this team. So it's going to be, I guess, another balancing act for this group is how often do we give Ingram the ball and just let him go to work? And how often are we going to tell him to just play off the ball, off of LeBron, off of Lonzo, Rondo, and all that? I think it's good that we saw a little bit of both. I think that's Luke Walton realizing what he has in Brandon Ingram, which is a guy who could end up being one of the most versatile players in the league. So they lost to the Blazers, but I think we learned some interesting things. Of course, it is a long season.